Sorry, Darren. I'm gonna be late. Can't make dinner tonight. Could you make do with what's in the fridge? Sorry. Oh, and could you give Johnny a bath and put him to bed too?
Yeah, no problem. Something come up at work?
Yeah, just a little something with Johnny's school mom. Got an urgent meeting. It's David's mother. Something about his anger issues. Not sure.
David, huh? Haven't heard that name from Johnny much.
Yes, she just moved in nearby. Just started kindergarten. Also just got divorced. You know, single mom. So, kind of hard to bring up a kid alone. She seemed really distraught. Figured I should, counsel her.
I get it. Well, Nance, if you say so, guess it's pretty serious. Alright, I'll take care of things at home, so no worries. Take your time.
Thanks, I owe you. When you get home, I'll head out. So, leave it to you.
No problem. Be careful.
Hey, Darren, I need your help again. Got a call from David's mom.
Again? Today? That's 3 days in a row. You okay with it? Are you sure she's okay? Not being used, I hope. Sure seems like it.
Nothing like that. The divorce, was kinda hard on her. Apparently her ex-husband cheated on her. The ex kicked her and their kid out with practically nothing. So, emotionally she's a wreck. Seems that just talking with me relieves her stress. She's looking way happier recently. I want to help her out just a little more.
Well, nice of you and all, Nance, but Johnny's been pretty lonely recently too. Mom's been gone and all. Just end it ASAP or when things seem right, okay?
I know, don't worry. I got this. I just can't leave it alone. I have a kid the same age too. Can't just look the other way. You do understand, right, honey? Just until she's back on her feet. I know I'm putting you and Johnny in a tight spot, but a little longer. Moms have to help each other in situations like this. Please, be patient a bit longer.
Can't complain about mommy stuff. Guess you have to do what you have to do. Just don't get too fixated on it, okay?
Yes, I know. Okay, I'm off!
Don't be so late.
I won't. Good morning. Sorry, I just got up. Did you take Johnny to kindergarten? Thanks.
What do you mean, just got up? Hey, Nance, don't tell me you were out all night. Were you drinking with David's mom till morning? Come on, get your shit together, would you? Please? How long do you intend to be involved with this woman? She must be fine by now.
What can I say? I have to help her. I was listening to her and one thing led to another. Just talking all night. Lost track of time. We were drinking a bit and just kind of fell asleep. When I came to, it was morning. I'm headed home now. Don't worry.
Hey, you're way too involved with this mom. You go out to consult with her like 4 times a week. Half the time you come home in the morning. I'm doing all the household stuff and taking care of Johnny. He's just a kid, Nance. You also mentioned taking this mom out to eat. You seem to be taking quite a bit of money from home. What's up with that? Come on, Nance. Enough is enough.
What am I supposed to do? David's mom is really having a hard time, Her husband has an affair and just dumps her and the kid? She has to bring up her kid alone. I have to help her. That's why I want to console her and release some of that stress. I felt sorry for her and invited her out. How can I make her pay?
Sorry, but you're really overdoing it. You keep saying school, mom, friends are so important. You really don't even know her well. Only been a couple of months, right? You turn a blind eye to your household chores and your own kid, take money out of your household savings, and for what? For some woman you met 2 months ago? Come on, Nance, wake up! Either way, it really does not make sense.
But if I just ignore them, then what? They are allowed to fend for themselves. For a mom that has the same age kid, I just can't look the other way.
But why you? Why do you have to stick with them 24/7 for God's sake? If she's having so much trouble, she could find official help. Like some kind of hospital, or community reach center, or maybe... There must be something. How about counseling? Leave it to the pros.
Counseling? Hospital? That's insensitive! Like saying there's something wrong with her. And she's not sick or anything. Just tired. Stressed out. She can't just take time off from work either. I wouldn't advise such a thing.
This mommy friend or whatever you call them seems strange to me. Being single and having no money and with a little kid, I can see how hard that could be. But calling out a mom from school, staying out till the wee hours of the morning, and making that person pay for it all? She knows you have a kid the same age. I have to say, this all seems really weird. This has gone on way too long. I want you to cut all ties with her. Think of your own family.
Cut ties? Why do I have to do such a drastic thing?
Listen, and listen carefully. I'm not going to say this again. Cut all ties with this so-called mommy friend. If you're going to dump on your own family and not even discuss this issue or find ways to fix it, if so, I'm not going to just sit back and take it.
So you want me to just cast him aside, is that it? David's mom is distraught. Her husband dumped her and her child with nothing. All I'm doing is listening to her grievance and giving her advice. What's so wrong with that? I wish you would not butt into stuff about my friends.
I have no intention of butting in when it comes to your girlfriends, but I do have the right to say something when it comes to relationships with men.
What? Relationships with men? David's mom is a woman, for your information.
Forget it. If you had just changed your attitude or just told me the truth, I thought I'd just leave it at that and say nothing. But if you have no intention, you asked for it.
I have no idea what you're talking about. What do you want to say? Let's hear it.
I already know what's going on. That so-called David's mom, there's no such person. She doesn't exist. Then you lied about helping your mommy friend, and that you were off seeing some guy.
What the hell are you talking about? That this friend is not real? That I'm seeing some guy? Have you gone bonkers? I can't believe why you came to that conclusion.
Even if it's a lie, you won't deny it, huh? Why did I come to that conclusion, you say? You've been going to see this David's mom person for 2 months. That's pretty long. Why would I not check up on you?
Did you check up on me?
At first, I just wanted to see what this mommy friend of yours was like. When I went to pick up Johnny at the kindergarten, I asked around about this friend of yours. But it's strange. After asking around, nobody heard of this David kid that recently arrived.
No, that can't be right. Some kind of mistake for sure.
I even asked all the teachers. There was no recent David in the age group, much less in the other age groups. There was one David, but I talked to his dad. Nice guy, by the way. I asked some other mothers you said we were friendly with, but they said you had no new mommy friends. Actually, they said you'd finish up early and just hurry home. Seems so strange. So I asked the detective agency to check you out.
Detective agency? When did you do that?
I guess it was about a month ago. Those detective agencies are really thorough. Snapped a bunch of photos for me. Like one where you were going into a hotel with some guy.
Seriously? No way! That's not possible!
Oh, and I had them check your line messages too. Here's one. I just saved my mommy friend and he's like, okie dokie, what a dunce, LMAO. And here, you're seeing this mommy friend too much. He's desperate, lol. Nice messages. I found out everything.
Did you know from that far back? Then why didn't you?
Why didn't I say something sooner? I figured you were still Johnny's mom, so for the sake of Johnny, divorce was not in the cards for me. But you had no remorse or any willingness to fix it, and just opted to lie to us. So I came to the conclusion that life would be better for the both of us if you were out of the picture. Let's get a divorce.
Wait a sec. Please, not so fast. Okay, I understand. I will tell you the truth. Everything. So, please don't talk about divorce. Please?
Sorry, there's nothing I want to hear from you. I got all the proof I need for your infidelity. Truth? No thanks. Too late for that.
Wait, please. Let's discuss this like adults. I'll head home now and wait for you guys to get home. Let's talk, please.
Even if you head home, we won't be there. I'm headed to your parents' place with Johnny. I'm just getting on the highway, as a matter of fact.
Huh? My parents' place?
Yes. To your place. Your parents have to see what you did, right?
Please, turn that car around and come home, please. You don't have to tell my folks anything.
We're getting divorced. Have to make it clear who's at fault, right? By the way, I sent all the evidence to my parents' place through my little sister. Do you want to talk? Come over to your parents' place. We're waiting. Of course, this is not about getting divorced or not. This is about who will take care of Johnny and the settlement I want. No use running. Your brother is already on his way to pick you up.
No way. Please, I beg you. Not divorce, please. I'll do anything. I beg of you. Please.
Sorry. I can't believe a word you say anymore, you lying tramp! Okay. I'm just around the corner from your place. See you later. I heard later that she met up with her brother, and he forcibly took her home. I told her that as long as I got sole custody of Johnny, I didn't need anything else from them. But her parents pleaded with me to have joint custody, and they would make her pay all compensation to me, including alimony, until Johnny came of age. Nancy, of course, was angry and would not relent at first. But after her mom cried her eyes out and her dad almost slapped her silly, she finally relented and signed the divorce papers. Nancy went back home, and in order to pay my settlement and education costs for her son, she started working at her brother's company. I went back to my parents' place, and with their help, and some help from my little sister, I'm bringing up little Johnny the best I can. Johnny was a little gloomy after separating from his mother, but with a cheerful family around, he gradually seemed to brighten up. My task from now on is to bring up my son and teach him to be a loving and considerate person.
Kyle, I don't want to nag, but isn't it time for you to find a job? It's been almost a year since you left your job. Our daughter is a housewife, so if you don't start helping out, you'll struggle to get by. It's important for a husband to support his wife financially. I've been supporting my family all this time. And here you are, unemployed. If I knew this would happen, I wouldn't have agreed to your marriage with our daughter. Adam, as I've mentioned several times before, I left my job to work as a freelancer. What? A freelancer? You've been cooped up at home all this time. It seems like you're just a bum. I'm not a bum. I work from home. What do you mean by that? I've been hearing about remote work lately. But how can you even do that? I think you're just stuck in your room playing games all day. If you think you can trick me with that excuse, you're wrong. I'm not playing games at all. Thanks to my efforts, I've been getting a lot of work and staying busy every day. You know what? I'm actually earning more now than I used to. That can't be true. How can someone like you, who's not even working, claim to be getting paid by anyone? How can I get you to believe me? If you start giving us allowance, enough to live on, then I'll believe you. An allowance? You're still working and receiving a pension. so I think you're doing better financially than us. Actually, I've been thinking about quitting my job for a while now. I'm getting older, and my body isn't what it used to be. My friends have all retired, and I can't bear to keep working so hard while they're enjoying their retirement. Do you not have any savings? You have a pension and you're working, so giving you an allowance might be a bit too much. I knew it! You're lying about making money, aren't you? That's why you can't give us an allowance, right? We had to borrow money from relatives to send our daughter and son to college. So, we've been working hard to pay that back and couldn't save any money. And there's still some debt left. If you don't give us an allowance, I'll have to keep working myself to exhaustion to pay off the debt. Were you always this heartless? I didn't think I'd hand my daughter with someone like you. Got it. So if I give you an allowance, you'll lay off the nagging, right? I don't want to push you too hard, so I'll start giving you an allowance from next month. Seriously? That's a relief. If you start giving us an allowance, I'll definitely acknowledge your efforts. All right. I'll count on you starting next month. Please talk to Mom about the specifics like the bank account. Okay. Hey, Kyle. I heard from Dad that you're going to give us an allowance. That's really helpful. But are you sure it's okay? Good evening, Shirley. What do you mean by, is it okay? I'm talking about the allowance. You don't have a job, so how are you going to give us money? You're saying stuff like freelancer and working from home. It seems like you fooled my husband. But I'm not buying it. Being at home every day just means you're not working, right? I've mentioned this before, and I told Adam about it yesterday too. Being a freelancer means I don't get paid by a company. Instead, I work on my own and earn money that way. Working from home means I have the setup to work at home instead of going to an office. So I'm definitely not unemployed. Since I started freelancing, I've actually been busier. And while I may be inconveniencing your daughter with household chores, my income has gone up. Even though your daughter is a housewife, we're able to save money now, so don't worry about that. I'm not quite sure what's going on. It sounds like you're going to start giving us money. Adam handed in his resignation today. We really need that allowance to get by. If it turns out you were lying about making money and can't give us the allowance, I won't forgive you. Understood? He handed in his resignation already? He really wanted to quit that badly, huh? I won't lie to him. I promised Adam I'd provide the allowance. So, how much do you need for the allowance? Yeah, I think $2,000 would really help us out. That much? What? You heard it from Adam, right? We have debts to relatives. We need to pay them back every month. And you said your income has increased, didn't you? Was that a lie too? Is it okay for us not to believe you? How much longer until you finish paying it off? Maybe about a year. Then please promise that the $2,000 allowance will only be for a year. We want to save up for the future. And we've been talking about having kids soon. Even if my income has gone up, giving such a big amount every month would be really tough. I understand. So, can we count on the $2,000 for at least 1 year? I understand, but there's one more thing I need you to promise. There's more? Your younger son and his wife are both employed, correct? Yeah, what about it? It's really tough for just us to provide the allowance. So could we also ask for some support from them too? It doesn't have to be the same amount, but could we ask them to contribute something? Okay, I promise. Thank you. Hey, Kyle, how are you? Hello, Shirley. What's up? I have a huge favor to ask. You're not going to ask for an increase in allowance again, are you? How did you know? Are you saying you understand how we feel? No, it's not like that. It's just that every time you contact us since we started giving the allowance, it's always about not having enough money or asking us to increase it. I just had a bad feeling about it. A bad feeling? How rude! I mean, I already added another $1,000 to the initial amount. Isn't it strange to still say it's not enough? You're supposed to be getting a pension, and your younger son and his wife are also giving you some money, right? You're right, but... Are they really giving you money too? Yes, they are. I'm keeping my promise. If that's true, you should be better off than most working people, right? So why isn't it enough? Even with debts, it just doesn't add up. Don't be so cold. The TV, fridge, and a few other appliances all decided to break down at once. You know how pricey electronics are, right? But they're necessities, and when you have to replace them, it's like throwing away tens of thousands of dollars, leaving us short on our living expenses. And right now, everything, especially groceries, is just so expensive. We're definitely not living lavishly, but even so, the money's just not cutting it. We're not young anymore, so we have to be careful with what we eat too. We might even get sick. Is that really okay with you? That's not what I'm trying to say. So, are you going to increase the allowance for us? Fine. I'll send $3,500 next month, so let's see how it goes for now. If everything seems okay, we'll go back to the usual amount, all right? That's the spirit. Thank you so much, Kyle. Please, use it wisely. Hey, Kyle, about the allowance. What happened? I've been holding back for so long, but I've had enough. Huh? You've been talking about how you're not a bum and promising to give us some allowance. But seriously? $10? Are you serious? You're being disrespectful. That barely covers a day's worth of food. What are you talking about? There's no way it's just $10. You should know if you check the bank statement. Shirley's got it all sorted out, no doubt. Enough with the excuses. And you know what? My son and his wife sends us $3,500 every month. He's some big shot at a major company, you know? Unlike you, who quit your job and can only manage to send us $10. Looks like there's been a mix-up. I'm the one sending $3,500. Isn't it your son who was the one sending $10? It's way too little, and even I'm confused by it. I thought they were sending at least $1,000. I never imagined they were struggling that much. There's no way that's true. Don't disrespect Tim like that. Acting all high and mighty when you're only sending $10? If you're gonna act all superior with that measly amount, then forget it. Go ahead and stop sending money. Are you sure? Obviously. Even if you stop sending money, it won't make a difference. Got it. That helps. The original agreement was $2,000, and that was supposed to last a year. But then, it got bumped up to $3,500, and even after a year passed, you kept asking for more. It's getting tough for us to manage, so I've been taking on a lot more work. Honestly, I'm at my limit, both physically and mentally. What nonsense are you talking about? Get a grip on reality, will you? Anyway, whether you send money or not, it doesn't make a difference to us anymore. So we don't need it starting this month. Got it? Got it. I was planning to send the money this week. But if that's what you want, I'll stop starting this month. And just so you know, it's not a one-time thing. I'm stopping it for good. Fine. Do whatever you want. We don't need your $10 anyway. Kyle, we were expecting the transfer by yesterday. But it still hasn't come through. We count on your allowance, so it's really causing us trouble. If it's going to be late, just give us a heads up, okay? Have you heard anything from Adam about this? Huh? What is it? Adam said I don't have to send money anymore. What? You're kidding, right? I'm not entirely sure, but it seems like he thinks I'm only sending $10 each month. What? He told me your son sends you $3,500 a month, so he said he didn't need my allowance. Of course, I denied it. I even said maybe Tim's allowance is just $10. But he insisted I'm only sending $10. He told me to stop sending money, so I decided to do just that. Please, I think it's just a misunderstanding. I'll talk to him and straighten things out. Could you please keep sending the allowance? I refuse. But we're family, right? Don't be so cold-hearted. Who's being cold-hearted here? Do you even realize how tough it is to send that amount of money? I've been working extra hard, sacrificing sleep just to manage. Being called measly money is something I won't forget. I won't be sending any more allowance from now on, so keep that in mind. No way! We won't be able to make ends meet. Adam, what on earth were you thinking? What the hell, Shirley? I'll be home in an hour. I'll talk to you when I get home. This is important. What are you so mad about? I heard you turned down Kyle's allowance. Why would you do that? He was acting all high and mighty over his measly $10 allowance. It just got on my nerves. He's got Tim and his wife sending $3,500. And he's complaining about their allowance being low. I had enough, so I told him we don't need his allowance anymore. What are you talking about? It's Kyle who's sending $3,500. The $10 is from Tim and his wife. Huh? You're lying, right? Why would I lie about it? I can't believe you actually said we don't need it anymore. And he even said he won't be sending any more allowance from now on. He seemed really angry. What are we going to do? Don't blame me for this. You're the one who said Tim and his wife are sending $3,500, right? I know Tim turned down sending the allowance at first. But I promised Kyle that I'd make sure Tim helps us out too. Tim got pissed and agreed to send us money. Then he said he'll only send $10. I know my son-in-law is more successful, kinder, and earns more than my own son. But I just couldn't bring myself to admit it. Seriously? You don't need to lie to me. It's gotta be your fault, isn't it? I know I messed up too, but there's no need to talk to Kyle like that, is there? Why does he make so much money anyway? Didn't he explain it to you? He's a freelancer. I know that, but what does he do? He basically runs his own company. Are you serious? I didn't fully understand it at first either. But the other day, a neighbor showed me an article about him. I was really surprised. It said he's a promising young CEO. Why didn't you tell me about that? Yep, I told you about it then. Even set the record straight about the allowance. But you were stuck on the idea that Kyle, being a freelancer, couldn't possibly earn that much. Didn't take my word for it. I'm gonna apologize to Kyle right now and straighten things out so he'll start sending the allowance again. Yeah, he's a nice guy, so he'll probably forgive you. You mentioned wanting that new bag, huh? Without allowance from him, you can't get it, right? Yeah, you're right. I've got a golf game planned next week, so I gotta figure things out before then. Kyle, I messed up. Seems like I misunderstood. You were the one who was sending us $3,500. I didn't know you run your own company. Even if you apologize now, I won't be sending any more allowances, all right? Please don't say that. I've said it countless times, haven't I? I'm not just at home doing nothing. I earn money. I even double-checked with you if it's okay to stop the allowance. But despite all that, not believing a single word I say, you even said it won't make a difference if I send money or not. Thinking I can just apologize, get forgiven, and receive the allowance again? It's really pushing it, don't you think? I understand. I'll admit it was my fault. But don't you think our daughter will be sad if you stop sending money? What are we going to do if we starve to death? Your daughter even said I don't have to send money anymore. What? I kept the money thing from my wife to avoid stressing her out. But when I finally opened up to her about it, she got even more mad than me. She said she would cut ties with you. Are you serious? Yeah, why don't you ask her yourself? But I think you've been blocked, so probably won't get through. What? That can't be true. My wife blocked both of her parents. Dealing with her demanding parents was really tough. When she found out they were making me send them money, it was just too much. But this situation gave her the chance to finally break free from them. And honestly, I'm relieved. When my wife contacted her relatives and revealed that I had been sending her parents money, despite their overdue repayments, they got angry and said they would take appropriate action. It seems they're in for a tough time ahead, but I think they deserve it.